I've missed barbecues with the family when family's over from far away and they haven't seen me for a while. I've missed all those things. I've missed moments, like I said, about my children. That's what I said about my youngest. That's you know, that those sacrifices I had to make with the other three, they're the ones that, like I said, you're gonna miss things out.
Welcome to It Was All a Dream. I'm here with Champ. Champ, if you want to introduce yourself, let people know who you are.
What's going on, man? I'm Champ Barbers here on Oxford Street. Big up.
So, was it always your dream to be a barber? What was your dream when you was younger?
Well, I guess like most of us, I was pretty good at all sports at school. I was pretty much just the kid that won everything in sports at my primary school. So I kind of like always went for sports. Didn't really like sitting around and paying attention to the teacher too much, you know? Yeah. And, you know, like, always kind of like ran with like athletics, whatever sport was, and obviously boxing was always a dream for me. Playing football, I was always good, you know, I was always good in the team, I was always a good leader. I was always getting picked first for whatever and that, and when you be the captain and stuff, there's the armband and all that sort. So I always kind of like something in sport. But kind of like, I always figured that along with all the training that you have to put in and the discipline, if you don't get in there early, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty much hard. And although I had played like football at Fulham, football at QPR and places like that. Again, found myself also going back to like Tooting and Mitchell in Hendon. I kind of like saw myself going from there, going backwards. I was like, hold on, this ain't going, this is supposed to go here, bro. That was going on. And so I always got to find something to fall upon. Ain't too academic with it and that, you know, I think about, you know, I love reading. But I weren't too with the teachers and because I used to see the teachers teaching me shapes and stuff, and I used to go, but I see my mum and dad like calculating numbers and they ain't teaching me, you know what I mean? So I was always like that. So yeah, so I thought, well, you know what? And then I fell into like cutting hair.
So how old was you when you started cutting?
You know what? It's mad. Can I tell this story? I was really young. I was a baby, really, man. I was about, say what, 14, 15.
So what got you into cutting?
Man, this thing was, my mum used to work 3 jobs, bro.
Okay.
Mum used to do 3 jobs. She'd be cleaning in the morning. She used to work a secretarial job in during the day, and then in the night time she'd go and do another cleaning job.
Yes.
Right? But on a Saturday and Sunday, my mum would be cutting hair.
Okay.
In the living room. And so it was always bright and bubbly, and there was wine and champagne and stuff, and my mum would be taking care of people in the living room. And her bag, from when she'd done her hairdressing and barbering course, yeah, she obviously used to do a lot of women. She used to just bring out all her hairdressing stuff like that on the table, but the barbering stuff would be sitting on the floor in the bag.
Okay.
And so I'd walk in with my mates from the boxing gym. It'd be as a crew of 6 of us. And back then it was one player, Super Mario. So once you died, you was out. But if you was good, you was having them 5 men waiting for a long time, innit? So I used to go to the kitchen. My nan would be there with my mum. My nan would give me like a big bottle of Cokes and glasses, big pack of Watsits. And I'd walk past that bag, and that machine would be looking at me. And I'd look at it and be like, and it was like it was calling me. It was like, Champ, it was like it was calling me, bro. It was like it was calling me. And so I do believe in signs. I'm very like that, very, you know.
Yeah, of course.
And I went back one day. I just went back with the bottle of Coke in the front, here, I come back, walk past that bag again, I just picked up the bag. God told me, pick up the bag and go and do your thing. And I went in there and I went, who wants a haircut? And they all laughed at me, bro. They went, yeah, you can't cut hair, fuck off. You know? And I was like, I was standing there in my bedroom with my mum's bag like that. And like, the first thing that came out of my mouth was, my mum can cut hair, I can cut hair. But it was because my mum always said to me, if you see another human being doing something, you can do it too.
Okay, cool.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
That stuck with me. So I just come out with that and they all went. But then our mate that had a lot of hair, bless him, he went, you know what, E, go on. And I went, for real, and I took forever setting up. You know, I put a newspaper on the floor and that, keep my mum's carpet. You know, I've done all that, got up, you know, and took forever doing his hair. But thank God, you know, like when I was done, everyone turned around and went, right, he can cut hair. I couldn't really, but I guess they were in my house, looking back now, they were in my house playing on my Nintendo, Super Mario, and they were eating what's-its and Coke. They didn't have to go to the shop and spend money on it. Might as well tell him he can cut hair, right? So, do you know what I mean?
No, that's cool.
And here I am, bro, like, I don't know how many years later, bro. Like, it's been a long time, man.
So, obviously, I've known you for years now, so I always knew that you wanted to open up a shop in the West End of London.
Yeah.
And I always know that you wanted to cut hair in Niketown.
Yeah.
They was always a bit of dream, like quite a bit of a dream of yours. What inspired those dreams, and how did you get to achieving them?
Okay. Let me put you on a bit of game here. So, obviously, when you start up, it's hard. You know, if you have a crowd around you, then great. But it's hard, and you have to go through a lot, you know, and you see yourself doubting, thinking, what have I got myself into, man? This is mad.
Yeah.
And you see yourself standing at the door, like half begging people to come in and that, bro. When you start, and it was hard. But obviously, because I've lived in Brixton, I'd have to catch the Victoria line, jump out the tube station, the first thing I see is Niketown. And I'm like, well, I've been a Nike boy since day. You know, like.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, I look up like that and I'm thinking, well, Niketown. So I walk past there every day and I think, right. And then something said to me like, you know, I'll do a pop-up in there. This is way before pop-ups and stuff like that. And then I started kind of like imagining, like, how would you pop up? Like, how would you, you know, how'd you do? Like, would you get a room?
Yeah.
Would you do this? And like, that's so weird. You've got to get creative and imagine it, you know. So, and then the funniest thing happened to me, man. Like, I'm standing in there on the door of the old shop, not doing much. You know, like I said, half begging people to come in and I get a haircut. When this young girl comes up, she says, hi there, I'm from New Look. And I went, oh, yeah, how you doing? She's like, oh yeah, we're interested. Like, the designers at the design studio, and they've asked me to come round and asked me if you could do a pop-up. I went, what? And I went, that's mad. And they went, all right, cool. So they went, oh, can you do the pop-up? They want you to do the press release for the new range, the new summer range. I went, all right, cool. How's it work? So, oh, well, we can't pay you and that old. So, guess what? I'm trying to pay the rent for this place and you can't pay me. Yeah? Exposure, new look. I went, hold on. Okay, cool. All right. And then I thought about it and I went, talk to me, what have I got to do? She said, well, really, what they want to do is they're going to lay out the clothes and then I guess they want you to cut hair. So I went, all right, but I guess we wanted to make it look like the barbershop, make it look cool, right?
Yeah.
And they went, well, I guess that would be cool. And I went, right. So I got imagining it, got designing with them. And when I met the designers, it was the maddest thing because the two guys that come to say hello to me, one of them was called Ian, like myself.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, Champ, nice to meet you, nice to talk to you and stuff. And I went, and they were talking to me like they knew me. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
And then they explained to me that they met me up the street when I was flyering, begging people to come and get a haircut from me. and they had done the way I was dressed. Because I was wearing like, this when I started, like, you know, when the whole, like, so I was like wearing chinos, and I had the shirt.
Yeah.
I used to wear like the braces, but I used to wear Jordans. I always had Nike on my feet. I always had the Jordans on the Nike, always fresh. And I had a baseball cap on and that. So then, when I met these guys, they turned around and said to me, we met you when you gave us this card, and they still have my business card. And guess what? He turned around and he said, we did our whole line around you, based around you. I went, what? He went, yeah, we sat across the road and watched you in your barbershop, how you drink. I went, huh? So I'm thinking, right, man, they're stealing my cool, bro. Huh?
Loads of people dressed like you.
No, I was like, no, man. When I looked over, yeah, there's a couple of chinos here, a couple of that little more like the waistcoat was waistcoat, but it was a little bit more looking like urban, a little bit more. And I was like, wow, right, that's cool. But guess what? Come off that. The coolest thing happened to my family. Cool, nice memory. Yeah. That's all you take with you when you're gone.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you can't take money or none of this with you. Yeah. They said to me, we can't pay you, Champ, but you've done such an amazing job. We want to give you a shopping spree. So I brought my family down and that, and they went absolutely mad. They turned up, right? This is the funny thing. They turned up in a cab, right? My wife and my daughter, like this, with bare bags, like loads of bags. Come out the cab, and I went, oh, you done well? And she went, done well? That's nothing. I said, what do you mean? He goes, wait. And I turned around, and there was a van from New Look coming, yeah? And they pulled out so much things, I couldn't even get it into the car, but it was crazy. It was mad. They're like, yeah, bro.
Rellena la 11, yo quería hablar con mi mamá para ir a hablar to come and speak to you.
Oh.
No.
Yeah.
So, did you ever have a backup for barbering? So if barbering didn't go to plan, was there ever a backup you had at all, or?
Yeah, I mean, I worked. You know, when you first kick off as a barber, no one really wants to sit in your chair and that. So, like, unless you have some money like backed up in like, you know, to help you, or your mum and dad are gonna help you and stuff like that, which I didn't. I had my mum and stuff, and they put a roof over my head, but I couldn't live like that. So I did work doing hotels, in the hotel like service, where I picked up a lot of my customer service. Thank God. My dad died pretty young, when I was pretty young, and I had to get to graft, get to work. So I learnt to like sweep up at the barbershop, learn off the barbers, but then as soon as I was done there, go and work a bar job or go and work at the hotel. And I was always pretty hairy, so I actually managed to get a job working as a barman, but I wasn't even old enough to be a barman. But thank God my dad had his nightclubs, and I'd been brought up around the nightclub kind of scene, and I used to do my homework in a bar.
Yeah.
So I'd really seen what it's about. There's got to be a character behind that bar. Working with drunk people, bro. You know what I mean? So you just got to be a character. And yeah, so that was, you know, I had my backups where I worked for Marriott, I worked for Hilton. Not just doing waitering. I started off waitering and then worked up, you know, worked up the system. Even getting to like a call center and even helping them open up a call center and that. Yeah, so I've done it all through the hotels system.
Yeah.
Done a few things in the hotels and that. And I was even sent by Marriott to do, you know, like customer service courses and stuff, and language courses and stuff for sales and that. And it helped a lot in my career as a barber.
Help progress.
You know? Yeah, even as the bar work, even being behind the bar, dealing with someone coming up in your face, all like not happy. You know, you had to learn how to just, you know, calm down.
Just client relationships.
Yeah, so I learnt that, and then I translated that into my barbering and that, and it done me well.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, how did like Champs come around the barbershop? So obviously it's a boxing themed barbershop. You've got a lot of cool memorabilia signed from people that you met. You've got your own boxing shorts up there. So where did like the whole idea of Champs, the theme of it being a boxing gym,
well,
gym
man, it's been my dream all my life, man. Like, if it were to become a fighter or to a coach or to work in boxing, obviously I wanted to have champs, I wanted to have my shop like that. Wherever I worked, I always had like a fight poster on the wall. Most of this stuff, like all of this stuff has got a story, even down to the people that have sent me beautiful art pieces that we inspired, our memorabilia, because I've told them, like, they take to me like, look, I'll take any piece of memorabilia in and I'll tell you the story behind it and you'll be like, wow.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So people bought me stuff and said, here, I want you to remember me, that I gave you this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I've got even stuff like that. I'll tell you a wicked story. I was about 10 years old, primary school, Battersea Park, running track. Big fan of Colin McMillan, yeah.
Okay.
Back in the day, WBC world champion. Very noted black guy with 3 little dreads just hanging out of here like that. So you just like, you know, no one had that haircut, like what the fuck is that? Do you know what I mean? But as a kid that kind of like understood hair because of I told you the stories about my mum and that. I see this guy in a sauna suit going round and round and round, yeah? And I'm seeing these dreads and I'm like, let's call him McMillan, bro.
Yeah.
It's gotta be Colin McMillan. And I just couldn't take it no more. The guys doing shot put or whatever and that, and I was fucking boring and that, and I'm just staring. I couldn't take it no more. I just run after him. I got right close to him and I could hear my teacher, the PE teacher, go, Hoyos! Hoyos, what are you doing? Leave that man alone! Bro, and I get up to him and I went, you're Colin McMillan, right? The world champion. He went, yeah. Because boxing is always taking like a back foot on football.
Yeah.
Kind of like thing, you know. I mean, he must have thought, this kid must know his boxing if he knows who I am. So I was just, wow. And I've done one lap with him before I got back to where my teacher was and that. I had to come back before I get detention or whatever and that. But yeah, like, and it was I think that it was from then that I kind of like figured out that, bro, you know, like there's something with the boxing. So as I came up with the dreams and that, it was always a dream to have my barbershop. Like, it was always gonna have this thing, and I'm the only one. Yeah. I've seen copies, but I'm the only one.
So who was your idols? So that could either be like just for mentality and drive. So like Michael Jordan always had that drive, and I know he inspired a lot of people with like that attitude, even Muhammad Ali.
So it's got to be Muhammad Ali. Muhammad
Ali?
Ali, from when I was a kid, my dad took me to the Madame Tussauds, and when you get to the sports section, they had Muhammad Ali in a corner, like on a corner of the ring. Yeah. They've built up like the corner. That's how they have him like sitting there, and it's very like when you walk in, you just see him just sitting there, and you go, wow. And I remember I was small enough to not know boxing yet. I knew that's what my dad watches.
Yeah.
On the screen. Yeah. But when I saw him, that statue, I went, Dad, who's that? Yeah. And he laughed and he went, that's puppy, that's Muhammad Ali. That's the greatest that ever boxed, that ever did it, the greatest man. One of the greatest men that ever lived. So I was like, bro, what do you mean ever, right? He's talking like him, like, you know, so I went up there and I watched it. They had a little screen on the side. I just saw him moving. I mean, wow. I said, Dad, I swear he's big. He's big like you, because my dad was big. Yeah. I said, he's big like you and he moved. You don't move like that, Dad. I see my dad, like, you know, have a fight and that you move, but not like that. I was like, wow. So I made it my thing. Like, Dad, I want to know more about him. Yeah. Obviously, Prince Nassim.
Yep.
Prince Nassim was obviously I was older and that, and I got, you know, that was always kind of like my style, and you know, don't get hit hard, make them pay. You know, and I'm blessed now to say I'm his barber and his brother. And more than that, I actually help his young kids train. I help them with their training and make sure I help them with their day-to-days, and I open up the gym doors for them around London and wherever we go. Super blessed to know them. Super blessed to know most of my heroes, bro. Mad, innit?
Yeah.
My wife that says that, God bless her. Yo, I love you. She has always said to me, from the day after, Amir Khan called me up one day, 2 o'clock in the morning. He was with a rapper that I used to cut his hair. And he told me, one day I'm gonna call you with him, watch. And he called me and goes, hey, can I get a haircut? And it was like 2 in the morning and I had to run down there and open up the doors and cut hair and that. It was mad. But like, it was when my wife said to me, how's it feel that you've got all your heroes on your phone? That is mad. That's what she said to me. That's the first time I actually realised it.
Yeah.
Now you know the boxer tournament?
Yeah.
You were there, right? The boxer tournament. When I cut Ricky Hatton.
Well, yeah. I didn't witness it, but I know.
Oh, you wasn't there?
No, I wasn't there.
Oh man, I thought I invited you to everything, right?
No, I wasn't there.
No, but yeah, man. Like, I've cut. Listen, bro. Like Ricky Hatton, Paulie Malignaggi, Prince Nassim, countless champions, man. Like
you cut David Hay, right?
David Hay up here, done adverts for TV and for your social medias and stuff of surrounding big fights. Done pop-ups, not just Nike Town, because like doing the Nike thing was amazing. Because like you said, going back to that, you know, I did it was cutting one by one, going in there, letting them know I'm the barbershop around the corner.
What's like the sniper rifle tactic? Pick them off one by
Yeah,
one.
pick them off one by one. Give them my card. Yo, you need a haircut. None of them didn't even bother. But then the ones that did bother, I made sure that they were the managers. Now, you know what? Come round, get a free haircut.
Yeah. So networking.
Yeah, I networked the hell out of them. I took the managers in. Said, yo, I'll give you a free haircut on this condition. I'm going to give you a bunch of my cards. You send me your stuff, I tell them, look, come and get a haircut when they're looking a bit rough. Send them in here, man. Make sure that they stay fresh for you and your team. Big part of it. I learned that from the hotels. Yeah. So they were like, no, you know, and they realised that I was helping them with it. So then, yeah, all of a sudden they started to come in. No, you're not from Nike Town. Alright, cool. There, you know, God was answering my prayers. I'm going to cut everyone in Nike Town. They all started to come through the shop. Until finally I cut the right manager, I got a relationship going. You know, you go and eat with them, you go there and out. Now I walk into Nike and I get discount and I don't need to buy, you know, all expensive, I buy cheap now. This is cool, like, wow. But now I'm kind of like a part of like Nike Town where I walk in and they're like, yo, Champ, what's going on? Like, so I was like, And then finally I cut the right guy and I said to him, bro, I've always had the dream of popping up in here, man. Look, I've done it for New Look, I've done it for Puma, I've done it here, I've done it there. And they were like, but nah. So I was like, no, alright, cool. And then I tried again. And then they kind of like, yeah, we're gonna do it. Not yet. And I was like, you know what, cool. And then Puma gave me the chance. I thought, you know what, I'm gonna show you. If you don't wanna let me show me, I'm gonna show you with someone else. Yeah. So I got Puma to help me, and I packed up the Puma thing, and then invited all the managers from Nike to walk around. And then when they walked around and they found us on Carnaby Street, people were hanging outside. We did a barber battle, so there was barbers from all over the land. People were hanging outside of the place. There was tourists going, what the fuck is going on in there? So then Nike was like, what? And I went, okay, you know what, Champ? This week come round and we'll have a chat. And I'm like, that's it, bro, I'm in. So yeah, and then we were there for 4 days, pop up. You know, gave away stuff. Had Chunky the girl come through, Big Zim came through, had all kinds of people come through, and everyone came by, got a haircut from us and that. And then a proud moment when they asked me to come in on the morning, on a Friday morning, and do their team meeting. Yeah. Their team meeting, which was like everyone in that staff, everyone that knew me, everyone, but all of them lined up in front of me, and they were, we want to hear your story and we want to, like, you know, can you?
That's morning motivation to set the day right.
And I was like, what the hell? That's when I realised I was bad at speaking, I wasn't bad at doing these things and those kind of. And when I realised I've got to pass this on to my barbers and I've got to start to get more of this stuff done.
Yeah, that's cool, man. So, on the back of that, what would you say the proudest moment of your career is? So the one thing that you've got, shit, I've made it, like, am I dreaming, pinch me, is this real? Is it opening up your shop? Is it opening up your boxing gym out in Colombia? Is it cutting a certain person?
I've done a lot. I'll tell you what, I have done a hell of a lot. Yeah, the Nike thing was great. I did MGM Barbershop 3 press release. That was a proud moment for me because the funny thing was I looked at the paper and it said Barbershop 3's coming out such date. I turned around to the barbers and I went, we're all going to go to the cinema, we'll watch it together, yeah? And then I got the call from MGM and they wanted me to do the pop-up. We did the first release as photos of us with our logo up with the Barbershop 3, you know what I mean? So stuff like that. I went to the Russia World Cup with my Colombia selection, like with Colombia. That's a massive, you know, we came out in the BBC advert for, do you remember them, for the World Cup? In Russia?
Yes.
So my wife and her sister would tell, that's all proud moments for me. Oh, like, there's been so many. And cutting champions and cutting, you know, like being around and flying around the world. It's all been a big mishmash of proud moments. But to be honest with you, bro, like, when you got into it just to better your family's life, right, it makes me emotional. To watch my kids, I've got 4, but I've been able to give them a certain standard of life, thank God. But to watch my little last one, born in the middle of champs, being strong, you feel me? My other ones had to grow up with me, grow into it. So they've learned also, dad's had to tough. But to watch my little one be born and be able to give her everything I wanted to give her, and then obviously see me changing my family's life, bro, that's been everything. That's been the proudest thing. Being a barber, that's been the craziest thing. Because I did it because I wanted to get my wife away from working what she was doing. I wanted to be able to give my family, bro, I've got my nephew upstairs cutting hair, my son runs the shop, my sister, my wife's sister manages the shop, my best friend, you know, like manages the whole overall thing, because it's also like you just know, like I've just told you, it's not just pop-ups, it's merchandise, it's many things, many avenues where they have to keep me in touch with everything.
Of course.
But definitely the proudest thing has been that to sort out and try and change my family's life. That's been it.
So if there was anybody listening or watching this that wanted to follow your footsteps in opening up their own shop or anything like that, or even just get into what you've done, what advice would you give them? Like, just to keep at it, because they're going to have bad times, they're going to have people that tell you they can't cut hair, stuff like that.
Yeah.
What advice would you offer them?
Well, I would say, listen, man, like, right there, right?
Yeah.
Listen. In my life, when people would call me crazy, that's when I knew I was onto it. I was onto something, and I knew I was my path, and I went for it. What you believe in your heart, go for it. When it gets tough, get tougher than tough. And stay. These days, you youngsters like to just give up too quick, bro. They like to just give up. Give up on your partner, or give up on your job, or give up on your dream. Just don't give up. Just keep going and you'll be alright. And it's gonna get hard and rocky and rolly and that, but life is like that, bro. You don't get up every day smelling roses and sipping champagne. So,
Yeah, that's cool, man.
that's what I can say, bro.
So just one last one, more just a side question, is you obviously mentioned about you, your kids obviously seeing you working and stuff like that. To obviously get where you've got, you've had to make sacrifices, whether that be sacrifices time away from your family, or maybe missed occasions, anything like that, where you've been obviously working hard, you know, we have the pandemic and stuff like that. What would you say the biggest sacrifices you made, and do you regret it?
I mean, I've missed first communion. I've missed barbecues with the family when family is over from far away and they haven't seen me for a while. I've missed all those things. I've missed moments, like I said, about my children. That's what I said about my youngest. That's you know, that those sacrifices I had to make with the other three. They're the ones that, like I said, you're gonna miss things out. And when you miss things out of your children's lives and that, you have to pay for it. And it's a big price that you have to pay. So it's a lot of sacrifice, but as the provider and the protector of your family, there is no other option. You just got to get down to James Brown, bro. That's it. You know, and just make sure that the woman that you have, and that's why I said that I love you, is because, like, if you don't pick the right one, bro, you know what it is, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They end up picking up the kids on a Sunday, and that ain't easy.
Perfect, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate your time today. It's been a lovely conversation.
Come on.
Thank you very much.